Thank you for joining us, Joni. Appreciate that. So, thank you for joining us too. I'm Reverend Bonnie Rose, and this is the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. And I'm going to be doing some brief announcements, both at the beginning and the end of the service. So, all of this information is on our webpage, which is www.venturacsl.org. And it's also at a desk. If you go through that door, there'll be a desk on your left, and that's a perfect place to find out more about what we're doing. July and August is a backpack for Casa Pacifica. Pack a backpack for Casa Pacifica. There's information on the website and at the concierge desk. And I've just heard breaking news that some people are confused as to whether or not they are supposed to bring in a whole backpack or the supplies that go in it. The answer to that is yes. Bring in whatever you want. Bring in anything that's school-related. You can go to Target or some of Staples, and they've got lots of sales going on. And this is to help children that are underserved to have the tools that they need and the resources that they need to be able to succeed in school. We are inviting volunteers to sign up in all kinds of ways. Hospitality, which is serving the food that we do after service. Technology, which we serve with our beautiful tech team back there. Circle of Blessings, which is serving people that are undergoing hardships in their life. Choir, Hearts and Harmony Choir, which meets Sundays from 11:30 to 12:30. Everyone is welcome to serve, and everyone is blessed by service. Not only the people that we serve, but also the people who are doing the serving. And then we have a third Wednesday Science and Spirituality discussion group, and that group is taking August off this month. So it'll start up again in September. That's all I've got for right now. So let's go ahead and we'll call forth Mr. Bill, who's going to give us a youth message.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Anybody like to come join me? Any of the children?
Yay.
Maybe? All right, we got some takers.
Yay.
Hi, Kaya.
Hi, Dasher.
Hey, Asher.
Hi, Dasher. Hi, Kaya. Good to see y'all.
All right. So as Reverend Bonnie said, I'm Bill Hadris with Youth and Family. And we've been going through our Little Spot of Emotions series in Youth and Family. And today, we want to talk about your little spot of happiness. We all have a spot of happiness within us. It's here to help us feel and spread joy. And with that joy comes kindness, gratitude, and smiles. We all remember our spot of peace. With peace comes calm. We have a spot of confidence. And our confidence has imagination, reading, and leading. And we also have a spot of love. We spread that with caring and sharing. So with any of these, we can spread them. So let's practice a little bit. So our spot of kindness spreads joy and happiness through gratitude and kindness. Our spot of peace spreads through calm. Our spot of love spreads through caring and sharing, and confidence through imagination, perhaps reading. So think about your spots. How have you spread love, peace, or confidence? Would you all like to share? I put you on the spot.
I can't really think of anything right now.
That's okay.
Anything, Athena?
I gave my friend confidence by saying that she could do it.
Yeah, all right.
Beautiful.
Good job.
beautiful. So I invite you all to repeat after me. I spread joy.
I spread joy.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Thank you, Mr. Bill, and thank you, kids. It's time to go off to the center now, and if any of the folks that are sitting in the seats, the young folks sitting in the seats would like to go with them, or some of the old folks too, I don't know. Just go on down and have a good time. Look forward to hearing about what you did. Thanks, everyone. All right, so now it is time to pray, and Reverend Susan Burrell will give us a prayer.
So as the practitioners and ministers in the room stand unified already in consciousness, I ask you just to close your eyes and drop into your heart center where that living, loving kindness resides, where the voice of Spirit speaks as you, to you, and through you. And so I know that this is the source of all being. And this source, through each of us, broadcasts out its brilliance, its many talents, and most importantly, love, broadcasting it within the sanctuary and beyond the doors into all of the world. So that kindness, that peace, that confidence that is pure spirit is infused with love. And I know that this day is the day to be all that you are in love, as love. And so I celebrate this time together, this holy, sacred time spent in communion, in community with each other and with source energy, and knowing that this is possible in any moment with every thought, every breath, and every action. We are infused with that light and love of source. And so I simply return this word into that law on the unseen side, that law of love, and I release my word, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Susan. And let us continue to breathe into that beautiful spaciousness that Susan brought us to with her wisdom and her love. And we breathe in and breathe out and allow ourselves to be still and know the power and the presence of the living one that abides within us and around us as we listen to the words of our sacred reading.
An invocation from a lecture by Rupert Spira. Praise be to God, naked being who wears this universe as its body and whose name is I. Praise be to God, the amness of all selves, although there are no selves, the isness of all things, although there are no things. Praise be to God, who conceals himself in existence and reveals himself as being. Praise be to God, who shrouds herself in time and proclaims herself in eternity. Praise be to God, whose movement is our longing and whose rest is peace itself. Praise be to God, for whom the world is its song and silence its prayer.
And so it is. Thank you, Hugh. We breathe together into this wisdom, into this spirit of praise, into this willingness to at least begin to know the unknowable, the I am presence that moves through each of us in silence and in song. And today we celebrate the I am in song. As we sing together, I am remembering who I am, knowing that I am is another name for the ineffable, undefinable thing that we may call God or spirit or higher power, the energy that is the force that is active in this universe. And so we know that for ourselves. We know it for all beings everywhere. Every speck of dust in the cosmos is that I am. That which is large, that which is small, that which is the body worn by God in this divine universe. So today we remember, I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering. I am remembering. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am we breathe into that sacred stillness, knowing the pure grace of being. And then we gently open our eyes as love, in love with, and in service to what is, as it is. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you, Todd.
Good morning, beloveds. Here in beautiful Ventura, I had a gorgeous drive up from LA this morning. Was really looking forward to it. I look forward to being here even in the rain, and I've done that many, many times. So it's so great to be here. We're going to do a song. I thank God I've known Chris for a really long time because he puts up with me. I discovered a song a couple of days ago that I just fell in love with, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to share it with you all. It's actually a Sting cover. And we have some venerable musical theater artists who have done a cover of it, more so as a ballad. But the message is always so timely. I'm so grateful to stumble upon things that are relevant, messages that are relevant. And I know I've been unfolding again, coming out of my cocoon, spreading my wings again in the midst of so much doubt as I've looked across my city and across the world via television and wondering what is going on. I just don't get it, and I can't seem to figure this out. And as I reach out to friends and other loved ones for information, sometimes it's reliable, sometimes it's not. Anybody else? You know, it just isn't all the time. And I'm reminded, particularly in my rebirth and my renewal and development, ongoing unfolding, that it's so important to just come back to self, right? And just be still and know and listen and pay attention to what's meaningful to you. It may not be the same for your neighbor, but we will all eventually meet in the middle somehow, some way. And this song kind of speaks to that. It's called Let Your Soul Be Your Pilot. Let's fly. When you're down and they're counting, when your secrets all found out, when your troubles take to mounting, when the map you have leads you to doubt, when there's no information and the compass turns to nowhere that you know, just let your soul be your pilot. Let your soul guide you. She'll guide you well. When the doctor fails to heal you, when no medicine chest can make you well, when no counsel leads to comfort, when there are no more lies they can tell, when there's no more information and the compass turns between heaven or hell, just let your soul be your pilot. Let your soul guide you. She'll guide you well. And your eyes turn toward the window pane, to the light upon the hill, and the distance seems too strange now, and the dark room seems so still. Let your pain be my sorrow. Let your tears be my tears too. Let your courage be my motto, so that the north you find will be true. When there's no more, no information, and the compass turns to nowhere that you know, let your soul be your pilot. Let your soul guide you. Let your soul guide you. Let your soul guide you upon your way. Your way. Let your soul guide you. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Dion. I think it's beautiful. And thank you, Chris. Gosh. Yeah. Wonderful. I am curious about how long Chris had that music. Like, was it a last-minute thing? Or? Oh, stop it. Oh, my goodness. Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, if Chris had played a wrong note, he could have said, what if it's not my fault? What if it's Dion's fault? Right, which is my talk title for today, What If It's Not My Fault? And, for those of us who have been around this center for a while, you know that there's a story that I tell about a practitioner student. When practitioner students go through their training, they have to take a test, and many of the test questions are things like, describe the life of Ernest Holmes in 25 words, or describe our teaching in 50 words. And one of our students said, I can describe our teaching in 3 words. It's your fault. And the meaning of that is that we take responsibility for what happens to us. We say that our thoughts create our reality, or most definitely our experience of reality. I prefer saying it that way instead. So our thoughts create our reality. But what if sometimes it's not only our creation of reality that's getting in the way of a blissful life centered in the I am at all times? Or our experience of that, because truly life is blissful, centered in the I am at all times, but we don't always get to experience that. So what if somebody else is messing with us? What do we do about that? We're still featuring the 5 Gifts book. I'm not sure if there's any left in the bookstore, but it's a really good book. Last week I spoke about forgiveness, and forgiveness is such a huge topic. I could do 10 talks on forgiveness and not complete it. But forgiveness, I felt like there was something left out of last week, so I wanted to extend forgiveness into forgiveness. I should have said forgiveness 2.0, right? But this is the second phase of forgiveness, or a second look at forgiveness. Last week I said that one of the reasons we can forgive is that most of us at one time or another are desperate. We're desperately seeking approval. We're desperately seeking love. We're desperately seeking control. We're desperately seeking to wrestle with this thing called impermanence. We're desperately seeking security. And that desperation sometimes leads us to behaviors that are somewhat destructive, either for ourselves or for others, or both. What I said last week is that we can at least look at that desperation and those that we feel that we need to forgive, see their desperation with compassion and understanding, knowing that at times we have been desperate and destructive in our own lives. So we look at it with compassion, but there is a but, because we love big butts and we cannot lie. Dion's second song. How about that? Oh, goodness. Have I ever shared with you how Alexa says that artist's name? It's Sir Mix-a-Lot. I say, Alexa, play Baby Got Back. And she goes, playing Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. Anyway, I digress. We can look at all of that with compassion. However, are we responsible for the thoughts and the behaviors of others? Are we responsible for that? I would say the short answer for that is no. Everybody's on their own path. We are responsible for our reaction, or how much we allow the thoughts and behaviors of others to affect us, but we are not responsible for what that other person over there is doing. We are not responsible for their thoughts and for their behaviors. So the purpose of today is to balance a sense of personal responsibility, knowing again that we do create our responses to life. We have this response-ability to create a sweet and beautiful life based on our responses to what is happening. We balance that with compassionate letting go of that which is not ours, that which is not ours to do or to think. And we take the road less traveled. There's often a fork in the road, as you know. My favorite slide ever, the fork in the road. There's often a fork in a road, and we can take one fork, the way of least resistance, the thing that we've always done that sometimes gets in the way of our happiness and joy and our ability to serve, or we can take the other fork, which is moving into a place of the enlightened I am and understanding that we are that unassailable, invincible presence that is the I am presence that expresses, lives and moves and has its being in everything. But it takes a little work in the human realm, and so that's what we're talking about today. Perhaps we have been socialized by our family and society to be less than what we could be. Perhaps we have been conditioned to be people pleasers and enablers. Has anyone ever people pleased or enabled? Let's see a show of pinkies, okay? All right. I could raise my whole hand. I could raise both hands. Some of what this looks like in families and in society is that your mood, someone says to us, your mood is my responsibility. Our mother, our father, our siblings, your mood is my responsibility. My self-worth depends on your approval. So your mood is my responsibility. If I'm in a bad mood, it's your fault. My self-worth depends on your approval. If you don't approve of me, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with me, too. There's something wrong with both of us. And you're making it happen. That's what people are saying. This is in quotes because this is not the Science of Mind teaching, okay? This is in quotes of what we say to ourselves or what others say to us. Another thing that happens is if you're mad, I'm bad. If I'm mad, you're bad. I got that backwards. If I'm angry, it means that you have done something wrong. It's your fault. Now, interesting that others can say that to us and we take it on, but it's a little bit harder to say that to other people. And I wouldn't phrase it with, it's your fault. I would phrase it more like, you're struggling with something, and I'm going to monitor my reaction. But people will often blame us for what they're feeling or thinking or doing when we have nothing to do with it. When I talk about social conditioning, anybody recognize her as Shush? Aunt B, yeah. You know, the older I get, the younger and perkier she looks to me. I don't know what the deal is. But the reason Aunt B is up there is that this type of conditioning is all over television. I don't know if it is anymore, but it's all over old television. When I was in Alaska, I watched, I don't know how many episodes of Andy Griffith, right? The Andy Griffith show, because I couldn't sleep because it was light like 18 hours a day in Alaska. Cell phone, anybody? Okay. I was watching Andy Griffith, and there is so much codependence in that show. Oh my gosh. And oh yeah, you're nodding your head, right? In lots of TV shows, somebody is upset, and Aunt B is upset. I don't know why, but Aunt B is upset because the choir, sorry Mary, the choir sounded bad in church. And everybody else is supposed to fix it so she doesn't feel badly. Aunt B, get a life. So it's all around us all the time. And even though that's an old sitcom, I think it's still around us in the fabric of our being and in the fabric of society and certainly in our families and sometimes in organizations too. I won't mention any names of any particular organizations where that happens, but it does happen sometimes in organizations. All right. The other thing is religious conditioning. How many of us have been conditioned by religions that have perhaps been negative conditioning? Conditioning, okay, 2 hands, all right, good. Yeah, we know about you, Mark, right? Yeah, lots of conditioning in religions, right? So God's mood is dependent upon what we're doing, according to religions. Again, this is not the science of my teaching. We have been taught that God's mood can be altered if we're being bad. God gets really cranky if we do things inappropriately. God can get furious and like throw a thunderbolt at something or other. God's mood depends on how we're acting. God's rules are very important. If we break God's rules, according to some religions, God gets in a super bad mood and is angry at us, right? And this causes us, or can cause us, to feel unworthy and unwelcome. And the problem with God, people, in many of these religions, is that God is always watching. There is Jesus peeking around a corner, seeing what you did. Not only seeing what you did, but seeing what you're thinking. We have a practitioner who shares this abundantly. He said, I learned that God can see what I'm thinking, so I might as well just do the bad thing anyway, because I'm going to get in trouble no matter what, right? This is when he was in a different faith, many, many years ago. One of our other congregants painted God to me, telling about his past, as sort of a martyr. He said that he was taught that Jesus' suffering on the cross was worse when he did something bad in the present time. Now, I can't really do the math. I know God is timeless, but it seemed like that happened a long time ago. And it seems like God is kind of a character that's saying, I sacrifice for you, and this is all the thanks I get, right? Notice I did a little New York accent with that. I was kind of thinking of a character in some, Woody Allen movie or something. I sacrifice for you, and this is the thanks I get, right? All right. So that's our religious conditioning, but what about our conditioning here? Is there any of that happening here? Not only at VCSL, our center, but also service space. Yeah, I feel your pain, babe. I feel your pain. Oh, no, not here, too. Oh, goodness. So for those of you who are fairly new here, Service Space is an organization that spreads kindness all over the globe, and we are very connected with them. I have worked with them for a long time. Many of others of us have worked with them for a long time. The founder comes here and speaks to us from time to time. It's a wonderful organization where everybody is so incredibly kind. Last time I was in India with them, people would wrestle me for my dinner plate. I would go to wash my dinner plate, and I'd be having this tug of war with some service-based volunteer that wanted to wash it for me, and that stuff goes on all the time. They are so incredibly kind. And so here, we teach this message, and in service space, we teach this message of selflessness. I'm fond of telling a story from it's a Vedanta story about a monk that went out to do his monk stuff, and when he came back, a thief had stolen all of his meager possessions. And as the thief was exiting the man's hut, he dropped something. The monk picked up let's say it's a bowl, the dropped bowl, and ran after the thief saying, "You forgot something, you forgot something." I ain't doing that. Nope. There's also the middle seat ministry. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Probably some of you don't. Okay, there's this guy in service space, and his ministry is when he goes on a flight, he chooses the middle seat on purpose. Yeah, I heard everybody go, "Oh no." And when I make a reservation for a flight, I think, Bonnie, you could do okay with the middle seat. You'd be fine. Do I pick the middle seat? No. Perhaps running after thieves and telling them that they have dropped something or picking the middle seat is not mine or ours to do. We may be called to serve in different ways, but that type of stuff can kind of work at you like, wow, I wish I were more like that middle seat guy, right? He's really kind. I'm, kind of mediocre. He's playing the kindness Olympics. Or I'm the gal who wipes down the parallel bars when Simone Biles is done doing her thing, you know? It can feel like that. It can feel that we have to compete to be more kind, to be kinder, to be more selfless, to do things like the middle seat ministry, or run after thieves, or be kind to everybody. It can feel like it's too much sometimes when we compare ourselves to other. And so that's nothing that's being pressured on us from outside. That's what we're doing to ourselves through comparison, saying, oh, I should be more kind like that person. I should be better. So that's all going on. And what it can feel like sometimes is that we're failing constantly. I want to give you a scenario. I think there's probably some people here that have had children that are parents. And I'm giving you a scenario of some of the ways that we can torture ourselves and wonder if what we've done is our fault. Now, I want to say that I've talked to a lot of people about this issue. This is a composite story, and I'm not talking about you, okay? Unless I have talked to you and warned you I was going to talk about this topic, I am not talking about you. This is a composite and an example, but I think it may resonate with all of us in one way or another. So what if you have an adult child who is capable of working, but isn't working? What if the child expects or demands you to support them financially in one way or another? And what if this presents a hardship for you, whether it's a financial hardship or an ethical hardship? What if this is a hardship for you? What if you want to say no, but the person will be angry with you? What if your friends tell you you're selfish for taking care of your own needs? What if you don't support them and something bad happens and you feel guilty? What if in talking to them, you feel guilty simply because they want it and you're not willing to give it? Can anybody relate to that situation in any way, right? Even if you don't have children, I mean, I certainly relate to it in the thing of like, you need to do what you need to do, but somebody's going to be angry with you. And so you don't want to do it because you're afraid of the anger. And you're afraid of feeling like a bad person, and you're afraid of feeling guilty. And then you have people saying, oh, you know, you should really be, you know, a little less selfish, right? What if there was a new set of what ifs? What if my willingness to set you free and not react to your accusations actually empowers you? What if I am no longer ashamed of what I perceive as shame or guilt? What if I have a right to be free and my freedom encourages your freedom? What if by taking care of myself, I'm setting an example of unconditional being for you, that you can be whole and healthy and perfect and complete without making me your source of validation, your source of good, your source of abundance, without making me your source, because God is your source. And I say that like I'm an expert at it, but I'm not. So often, doing the right thing and saying no when somebody really, really, really wants you to say yes, it can be perceived by that person or perceived by others as a lack of compassion. The same is true when we get through it and we express our resilience and we move on. Sometimes people will tell us that we're indifferent. What it feels like sometimes to be in that situation is this. It can feel like, that's a real picture, I'll explain it in a minute, but it can feel like something huge is blocking our vision of the world. That is a tiger coming in Tippi Hedren's window. Tippi Hedren of the Birds, she was in the Hitchcock movie, The Birds, and she has an animal sanctuary, I'm not sure if she still has it, but an animal sanctuary where she rescued wild animals. But if we have this, it's a metaphor, if we have something that is on our mind, something that where we are having to be strong and having to say no when the person is screaming, that we say yes, and blaming us for their condition, it can feel like there's a tiger prowling around in our consciousness that is blocking our window, blocking our clear view of the world. I hope that metaphor works. I kind of just wanted to put that picture up because I really like it, but I hope it works for you. Power abides in the recognition, in the re-knowing, in the cognitive reframe of what is happening. All of those things, that new set of what ifs. What if my freedom actually empowers your freedom? What if my willingness to say no affirms for you that God is your source? Some other things. In that we are constantly defining our life by our past conditioning. And what if that person is defining their life with us via their past conditioning? Their conditioning that they are dependent and they need us to be something that perhaps we're not. We relate to life not as it is, but how we think it is. So if we're thinking that I need to do this in order for this person to be okay, perhaps we are being Aunt B in Andy of Mayberry, Andy Griffith, right? Do you want to be Aunt B? Okay, it's up to you. She had many lovable characteristics. We relate to life not as it is, but as we think it is. We can always rethink our position in reality. If our whole life we have done this family thing of taking care of somebody's mood, taking care of somebody's attitude towards us, we can rethink that and recognize a higher truth. Our responses to that type of behavior can affirm mutual wholeness. Not only my wholeness, but your wholeness. Recognizing, again, that God is the source of both of us. So your approval of me is not my source. My willingness to do what you need me to do is not your source. The mutual wholeness comes from someplace else, and it is infinite and it is intimate. And often if we let go and allow what is to be and not jump in and rescue, often something wonderful that we are clamping down through our old conditioning, something wonderful can bloom. This is from Service Space. We value the concept of self-awareness and respect for others' journeys, which includes understanding, yet refraining from interfering with someone else's karma. Karma, the results of one's actions, is intrinsically tied to one's personal growth and spiritual evolution. How about that? Somebody really wants something from you and you don't want to give it. And you could say, you know what? If I give you that, it'll interfere with your spiritual growth and spiritual evolution. You may want to say that silently, okay? Just so you know. So what's the practice? Well, one thing is to see our own hidden intentions. That's what I've been talking about for the last 15 minutes or so, seeing our own hidden intentions. If we're tempted to say yes when we don't want to say yes, what do we think we want, right? In enabling others, what are you avoiding? We're probably avoiding feeling the shame of not meeting somebody's needs. It's not really shame. It's just oftentimes maturity. What might you embrace instead? I would embrace, switch too slewed. I would suggest embracing compassion or forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean giving in. It often means being strong and grounded and knowing the best for the person. Compassion, forgiveness, understanding. It also helps to know what is mine and what is yours. What thoughts belong to me, what thoughts belong to you. Are you using my thoughts to control? Are you using your thoughts to control me? And am I using my reaction to your thoughts to try and control you? To make you so you're not mad, right? Ooh. In Dances with Dogs, a book that I wrote last year, I remember saying, disappointed belongs to the disappointed. And that was because when I came here in the beginning, I disappointed a bunch of people. So people who were here will argue with that, but I felt like I was a big disappointment. And and I kind of bombed at the beginning too, just to be perfectly frank. But anyway, sorry. Disappointment belongs to the disappointed. So if someone is disappointed in me, I may have done something wrong. I may have something to correct. But their disappointment is their responsibility. Am I speaking a foreign language here? Okay, good, good. Because it feels like a little bit of a foreign language to me sometimes, because it's so different than the way I was brought up, and probably the way that many of us were brought up. What do I choose to focus on? Guess what? It is a choice. Remember Tippi Hedren's tiger coming in, right? That person who's angry at you because you're not giving them what they want, they can feel like a tiger coming in the window, but perhaps you could focus on something else. Focus on something else. And again, I would suggest to focus on compassion, integrity, which is wholeness, freedom. Compassion for myself and for the other, integrity for myself and the other, freedom for myself and the other. Because as I learned in the last class that I taught from one of the practitioners, it should be good for everybody involved. And it may not feel good right at the start, but it could be good for everybody involved as long as we maintain our integrity, our compassion, and our sense of freedom. True compassion. We can identify a feeling without identifying with it. And what I mean by that is that if somebody is angry with me because I'm not giving them what they want, I identify that the person is angry, but I don't have to identify with it. I don't have to say, I am the source of your anger. You are so right. I am the source of your anger. We can also use the Pema Chodron practice, which I bring up quite a bit, just like me. Just like me, this person feels anger when they are disappointed. Just like me, this person feels disappointed. Just like me, this person is occasionally manipulative. Just like me, this person often puts pressure on me. Just like me, this person is trying to invoke a response that they want through guilt and pressure and shaming. I don't know that I've done it recently, probably have, but it happens. And just like me, flipping it around, just like me, this person, you, are the irreducible I am. You know, in the Christian Gospels, it talks about how Jesus said that you can't add 1 cubit to your stature, right? That means that nothing can be added to the I am. We already are that which we are, but also nothing can be taken away. That's why I said irreducible. Nothing can be taken away from us unless we allow it to feel like something is being taken away. So if somebody is angry with me and I feel like this is diminishing me in some way, perhaps I can know that that's not true. I could just do something like claiming wholeness, claiming forgiveness for myself, claiming integrity, claiming compassion for myself and the other as we struggle on this earthly plane of existence. We can offer divine encouragement to the other. Notice I have divine encouragement italicized, divine. We can do stealth prayer. Stealth prayer means that we just pray for somebody. I used to use this in corporate setting all the time because you don't really pray when you're, working in a corporate environment. At least you don't do it out loud. But I would say it out loud sometimes in the form of, you know what? I know that there's a greater possibility for you. I know that there's something, you want me to do this thing for you, and I can't do it, but there's a greater possibility for you. I just know that. That's stealth prayer, people. Works really well. And in the stealth prayer, we anticipate mutual growth. We grow by saying no, and the other person grows because we have said no. They find another source. They find another manifestation of source. They find their own strength, sometimes, and sometimes they don't. But again, that's their business. And we turn the other cheek. That's Jesus. What would Jesus text? That's what I say. Now, that's Jesus looking shocked because I think that sometimes we've gotten turn the other cheek wrong. You know, in my somewhat codependent household that I grew up in, turn the other cheek meant if somebody slaps you, then you turn the other cheek and you let them slap you again, right? Anybody else learn that? Yeah. Okay, I don't think it means that at all. It's Jesus' sophisticated way of saying, I'm rubber, you're glue. What you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Thank you. Thank you for that chorus. The Greek chorus over here, yeah. Or another thing could be that it's just finding another perspective. Finding another perspective. I usually respond to this way when somebody is pressuring me, but if I look over here, if I look up, perhaps I can ignore the tiger that is looming in my window, in my vision, and I can find a different perspective, a different way of being in relationship with this thing that is happening. And again, the possibilities are infinite and intimate, meaning personal to whatever it is that we're going through. Service Base also says, remember, ultimate freedom comes from self-realization. By focusing on your journey and embodying your highest self, you indirectly inspire and support others to do the same without direct interference. How about that? That's different than what I learned as a kid and what I sometimes repeat as an adult, but I think we're all working on it. In terms of the scenarios that I described before, where I was talking about how, there were people that I knew that have children that are not working and not able to get out of the house and demanding certain things from their parents, those all turned out in different ways. So for some, it's persisting. For some, the offspring is living on the street but seems to prefer it. For another one, the person moved out and his life changed and bloomed in new, positive, wonderful ways. And the reason that I have Ram Dass sitting there in a wheelchair is that there are infinite opportunities to practice. Ram Dass said that he has changed lives all over the world. He has worked on helping people with polio. He has worked on healing the blind through surgery all over the world. And he said his deepest spiritual practice, his hardest work, was in his day-to-day life, particularly after he became confined to a wheelchair. And so our deep practice, yes, we can meditate, yes, we can pray, but the many relationships that we have are really a huge part of our spiritual work. And I trust that we'll do them nobly and wisely with love and respect for the karma of others and also respect for our own freedom so that we can turn that picture of Tippi Hedren and the tiger into something more like this. Aww. Yes, I put our cat in the dish rack. And she enjoyed it, so. All right, so folks, I hope this has been helpful for you. I think we're just going to go ahead and pray now, Brother Chris, and we'll get it squared away in consciousness. Here you go. All right, so turning within, in that deep and powerful place, that place that is spirit within us, that place that is everywhere, omnipresent, that is so good, that is so noble, that is so free, that is beyond words. I connect with that place right here and right now, and I call it my own. I know that it is who I am. I know that it is who we are. It is equally omnipresent in everyone. And today, let us open our hearts and our minds and our beings to reveal it, to receive that which has already been given. So from this place, I know that our relationships are blessed, that our relationships are a place of learning and growth and inspiration and understanding, that we are free in our relationships, that we can make wise and loving choices, that we choose compassion, not only for ourselves, but for the other, not only for the other, but for ourselves, and that our willingness to participate in relationships in a new way, in a way that identifies spirit as source, not only blesses the people in the relationship, but blesses the entire world. And so I'm so grateful for this truth and this teaching, so grateful for this faith, so grateful for the transformation that I know is occurring in each of us now as we deepen in our spiritual life, and so grateful for all paths to God, churches, synagogues, temples, mosques, ashrams, all paths everywhere. All paths are a blessing. And with a heart so filled with gratitude, I say, thank you, Spirit, thank you, love. And I release these words into the divine mystery. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Bonnie.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So many wonderful nuggets. Like when you said about comparison,
Yeah.
boy, is that a buzzkill.
Yep.
It
Yep.
does you no good.
I know.
But we do it.
Yep.
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 And this is such a beautiful place to explore what life is bringing us. You know, when I first started here, like it was good news, bad news. It was all about me. I didn't really want it to be about me. I wanted it to be about all of you. And then I realized that I could be the change and that we have this beautiful place to practice that without judgment, with compassion and love. So I'm just so excited that you're all here this morning because this message is very powerful. This is life-changing. So
Thank you.
thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you. Sure.
So as we prepare our offering this morning, I just invite you to be in that space of wonder and awe of what life can change for you as we change ourselves, because it really does begin with us. So as you place your offering over your heart, let's say this prayer together. We trust in spirit. Love is a giver and receiver of all that we are. We offer these gifts. They are an outward expression of our inner abundance and compassion. Our gifts bless many and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways, so that we may give again. And so it is.
Thank you. Namaste. Dion.
Again, thank you so much, Bonnie, for always a very inspiring and humorous delivery. I just love it. I got to think about what I'm going to ask Alexa for this afternoon. I like to bring this song once a year, and it's a wonderful piece that was spoken by Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith and put to music by our beloved Jennifer Russell, who has been here. We haven't seen her for a while. She's moved to the East Coast. But it definitely speaks to our self-realization and our self-awareness and our commitment to full vision anchored in the truth of ourselves with this breath. With this breath, I thee wed, my true nature, my forever, my being. With this breath, I say yes, and I embrace that which is real within me. All that is great within me, all that is beautiful, all that is of love and gratitude, all that is divine. With this breath, I thee wed, my true nature, my forever, my being. With this breath, I say yes, and I embrace that which is real within me. I step out of my history into God's mystery, and I take this vow to participate in my destiny. And with this breath, I thee wed, my true nature, my I forever my being with this breath. I say yes, and I embrace that which is real within me. I catch the dew from heaven. I catch the sweet inspiration. I catch the dew from heaven. I catch the insights that free me from my intoxicated sleep. And with each breath, I say yes, and I embrace, and I commit, and I pronounce that I am awake, and I am in love. I am in God right now and forever. Happy Sunday, everyone.
All right. Just a few more announcements and then we'll affirm and head on out. So, the most important thing is that we are having a September fundraiser, which is a creative karaoke night with a silent auction and light refreshments. And we have a special table set up with glittery fabric on it. Then you'll see Jennifer will be there and she'll kind of guide you through the process. What we really need is for folks to sign up if they want to sing a karaoke song. And we also need people to donate either baskets or gift certificates or what have you from places where you might frequent. We really want to, we do such good work here, and this fundraiser helps us do things like spread our work throughout the world, and it helps us do things like care for our beautiful building, all of these things. So we'd really like to raise some funds. And that being said, also, Jennifer and I have kind of been working on this a bit by ourselves, and we would like some additional support. So there's a sign-up sheet there too. If you would like to have a Zoom meeting with Jennifer and me in the near future, date to be determined, then if you would go ahead and sign up on that, and we'll figure out a time when we can meet. We want to figure out how to make it really special, how to get lots of donations in, donations from vendors and from people, and also how to support it so that a lot of people know about it, so we get a lot of people coming. I also have to mention, I just left out Mary Kerrigan. She's working on it too, so there you go, okay? Okay, so today there is a wonderful workshop to carry on with this forgiveness theme. Many of you heard Shelley Ealer read her piece last week, and she is explaining the process of forgiveness and will guide you in a hypnotic journey through a process called Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian, very powerful forgiveness technique. You'll be able to forgive and let go of old baggage that's been holding you back. There's a fee, it's $50, and if you're struggling with that, let one of us know. Let somebody like me know, and we'll see what we can do. And then I highly recommend Shelley. She is a wonderful teacher and a wonderful speaker and also a wonderful hypnotherapist. So go ahead and sign up for that. It's 1 to 2, I believe, but there's more information on the desk. And then there's prayer with a practitioner who will do 1-minute miracles with you. And then also, let's see, there's hospitality, there's food. So go on back there, get some food, sign up for something, meet somebody new, tell a story, have fun, create community. That's all I got. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's go ahead and read our affirmation together. Today we choose to be love, to share love, to serve love. Thank you for our life. And so it is. Thanks, everyone. Namaste.